I'm Casey Kasem. We're just a hit away from the number one song in the land. But first, standing pat at number 2, here's Blessid Union of Souls, a 5-man band whose members have performed in the past with such diverse acts as R&B star Johnny Gill and heavy metal star Ozzy Osbourne.
Casey's Top 40.
Wherever you are and wherever you go, you can hear Casey's Top 40 every week on great radio stations like Q99, the best songs on the radio, Salt Lake City, Utah. A wide variety of today's hottest music, WDBR, Springfield, Illinois. And that means we've got a brand new number one song in the USA on Casey's Top 40. This week's number one is about problems like homelessness, abuse, violence, and bigotry. A song inspired in part by the lead singer's ex-girlfriend. That singer is Eliot Sloan, and like most songwriters, he draws on his own experiences when he writes. In this case, it was an experience with a woman named Lisa. Lisa is white, and Eliot is black. And when her family discovered she was dating him, they put a lot of pressure on her to stop. Eliot says they put so much pressure on Lisa to end their interracial romance that it tore the relationship apart. Well, Eliot says he later used the pain of that experience to help him co-write this week's number one song. The lyrics go, "I've been seeing Lisa now for a little over a year. She said she's never been so happy. But Lisa lives in fear that one day Daddy's going to find out she's in love." But the lyrics go on to express hope. Hope that, quote, "one day he'll understand and he'll see me as a person and not just a black man." Eliot Sloan says the response he and his group have gotten to their song has been just terrific. Quote, "A lot of people are going through the same thing. They say the song has actually helped change their lives, helped them cling to the person they're with a little bit stronger." Unquote. 13 weeks ago, that song Eliot Sloan co-wrote from the pain of his life experience entered our survey. 8 weeks ago, it entered the top 10. And this week, it's become the biggest hit in the land. The brand new number one song in the USA on Casey's Top 40 is I Believe by Blessid Union of Souls.
Casey's Top 40.
Across the USA and around the world, you can hear Casey's Top 40 every week on great radio stations like 96.5 TIC-FM, a better variety of music from the 80s and today, Hartford, Connecticut. And falling a notch to number 15 on Casey's Top 40, here's the fastest signed act in the history of EMI Records. EMI completed and signed a full contract with them just 6 days after their audition.
And now, Westwood One Entertainment proudly presents Casey's Top 40, brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT. It's fast, it's easy, it saves.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Casey's Top 40. I'm Casey Kasem, and I'm all set to count down the 40 biggest hits on the pop chart. Our rankings come from the official survey of radio stations from coast to coast. The survey is conducted by Radio and Records, the industry's number one newspaper. Well, we have 3 debuts this week, including a brand new hit by the British band Oasis. Let the countdown begin.
Number 40.
Falling 5 notches is Blessid Union of Souls, a group whose musical influences range from pop and R&B stars like Prince and Stevie Wonder to rock acts like ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner. On this song, singer Eliot Sloan credits a slight influence from Elton John.
Casey's Top 40.
Well, now we're up to Blessid Union of Souls, a band whose latest album might never have been released had it not been for an enterprising recording engineer and his canoe. The album called Blessid Union of Souls was released just a few weeks ago, but thanks to the springtime floods that ravaged the group's hometown of Cincinnati, it almost never came out at all. You see, when the Ohio River rose above its banks, 6 feet of water flooded the building where Blessid Union of Souls had recorded their second album. The band had just finished the master tape the day before. It was ready to be shipped to Los Angeles for pressing, but there was no way to get to it. The bottom floor of the building was underwater. Luckily, the studio was on the 5th floor of the building, so the tape was safe. They just couldn't get to it. Or at least they couldn't until the band's engineer volunteered to go get it. He owned a canoe, and he figured if he could get into the building, he could make his way up to the studio and rescue the tape. He paddled his canoe across the building's flooded parking lot and then right into the building itself. He found a flight of stairs, parked the canoe, and jumped onto the steps. The engineer climbed up to the 5th floor studio, where he found the tapes high and dry. Then he carefully carried them back down to the canoe and paddled them to safety. And this week, one of the songs rescued on that master tape is survey song number 22 on Casey's Top 40.
Casey's Coast to Coast.
And moving back up 4 notches to number 35 on Casey's Top 40 is Blessid Union of Souls, a group that got together back in 1992. They recorded their first demo in a studio that singer Eliot Sloan says was no bigger than a closet. But that demo was enough to land the band a contract. Their 5th Top 40 hit is called I Wanna Be There.
Casey's Top 40.
For Casey Kasem, I'm David Perry. Now we're up to the song Light in Your Eyes by a band who are unrecognizable in most people's eyes, and they say that's the way they like it. This 5-man group from Cincinnati follows in the footsteps of a number of rock-era bands, acts who are almost totally uninterested in being recognized. We refer to them as faceless bands, and lead singer Eliot Sloan of the relatively faceless group called Blessid Union says there are many advantages to being unrecognizable. He says he has no problem going to the movies or to a restaurant. No one knows who he is. He can go shopping without being mobbed by fans. He even says, quote, "The other day I went to a concert at Kings Island here in Cincinnati. There were thousands of people there, and I was pretty much unnoticed." He says being faceless is also good because it means people pay more attention to your music than to your image. He says, quote, "It means we're more of a song band than a trend band." This week, this faceless group climbs 4 notches to number 23 on Casey's Top 40. Here's Blessid Union with Light in Your Eyes.
American Top 40.
We're counting down the most popular songs in the USA, and we're up to a hit by Blessid Union of Souls. If you go to a concert by that group, you'll probably see them play a couple of tunes from the 60s and 70s in their show. Keyboard player C.P. Roth told us, "We've been known to do While My Guitar Gently Weeps by the Beatles and a real psychedelic version of Everything I Own by Bread." Slipping a couple of notches to number 31 this week on AT40, here's Blessid Union of Souls with their own hit, Standing at the Edge of the Earth.
I will sing.
Eliot Sloan singing lead for Blessid Union of Souls on Standing at the Edge of the Earth. This week the song falls from 29 to 31.
Counting down the hits with Casey Kasem.